In a comprehensive and decisive diplomatic overture, China has articulated a robust and unwavering commitment to forging a significantly deeper partnership with Brazil. Welcome viewers to my channel. Please subscribe, like my video, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. This strategic initiative is presented as a unified front specifically designed to counter what China has deliberately and meticulously labeled as arbitrary and bullying tariffs imposed by the United States. This substantial and highly consequential offer was delivered with considerable gravity and official weight by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang during a recent and pivotal phone conversation with Celso Amorim, who serves as a highly influential chief advisor to the president of Brazil. This strategic and timely overture from Beijing arrives at a moment of heightened and palpable geopolitical tension, as the relationship between Brazil and the United States continues to fray and deteriorate. The confluence of these events presents a unique and compelling opportunity for Beijing to solidify its role as a powerful, supportive, and reliable ally to Brasilia on the global stage, challenging the long-standing geopolitical status quo. According to a detailed and illuminating statement released by the Chinese Foreign Ministry, Wang's remarks were far from a mere token of diplomatic goodwill. Instead, they represented a clear, comprehensive, and fundamental articulation of China's core foreign policy principles and its deep-seated commitment to a multilateral, rules-based international order. The Chinese minister went to great lengths during the conversation to underscore Beijing's unwavering and unequivocal support for Brazil's inherent and sovereign right to pursue its own economic development without any external coercion. He issued a strong and pointed condemnation of what he termed the bullying practices of arbitrary tariffs, a phrase that was carefully chosen to frame the U.S. actions not as legitimate trade policy, but as a hostile act of aggression and a direct challenge to international norms. Wang emphatically underscored that the use of tariffs as a political or economic weapon is a flagrant and unacceptable violation of the fundamental tenets of the United Nations Charter and a direct undermining of the established, foundational rules of the World Trade Organization, WTO. By deliberately casting the issue in this light, China is masterfully positioning itself and Brazil as principled defenders of international law and order, standing together against a nation perceived as acting unilaterally, without a clear mandate, and without regard for global norms or established protocols. This narrative not only bolsters China's own image, but also provides Brazil with a powerful ally in its legal and diplomatic battles. This bold and proactive diplomatic move by China is particularly impactful and timely, as it coincides with a rapidly and noticeably deteriorating relationship between Brazil and the United States. The immediate catalyst for this growing discord is the highly contentious and unilateral decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to impose a punitive 50% tariff on a wide range of Brazilian imports. This move was made even more controversial and politically charged by Trump's own bizarre and highly unusual justification, which he described as a witch hunt specifically aimed at Brazil's former president, Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro, who was decisively defeated by the current president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in the 2022 election, is currently facing very serious and politically charged accusations of attempting to orchestrate a coup and overturn the election results. The explicit linking of these tariffs to domestic political disputes within Brazil has fundamentally politicized the economic measure, transforming it into a highly toxic and unacceptable form of foreign intervention in the eyes of many in Brasilia, and prompting a strong and united response from the Brazilian government. Brazil's official response has been both resolute and strategically measured. During a significant public address in Brasilia, President Lula da Silva made it unequivocally clear that his government will not stand idly by and accept this economic pressure. He announced that Brazil is fully prepared to leverage every available and legal recourse, with the World Trade Organization being the primary and most important forum, to vigorously defend its national and economic interests against the new U.S. tariffs. Lula's declaration was a powerful signal that Brazil is ready and willing to engage in a protracted legal and diplomatic battle on the global stage to protect its sovereignty. He also strategically highlighted that his administration had already been proactively working to diversify and strengthen its foreign trade relationships and create new opportunities for Brazilian domestic companies, demonstrating that this is not merely a reactive response, but a well-thought-out, long-term strategy to reduce the nation's vulnerability to external economic pressures in a rapidly shifting international landscape. The complexities of a situation are further compounded by the fact that the friction between the two nations extends far beyond simple trade disputes and into the deeply sensitive and sacred realm of judicial and political sovereignty. The U.S. has recently escalated tensions to a new and dangerous level by imposing sanctions on Brazilian Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes. These sanctions were a direct, unprecedented, and highly provocative response to de Moraes' crucial role in the ongoing investigation of the alleged coup attempt, which has been directly linked to the activities of former President Bolsonaro. The imposition of sanctions on a sitting judge of another sovereign nation's highest court is widely perceived in Brazil as a severe, unacceptable, and direct act of interference in its internal judicial and political affairs. This specific action has only served to pour gasoline on the fire, intensifying the discord and adding a profound layer of mistrust, indignation, and resentment to the already strained relationship, making a swift resolution even more unlikely. By offering to collaborate on this issue, China is not just being a good neighbor or a benevolent trading partner. It is seizing a monumental and strategic opportunity to significantly deepen its influence and ties with Brazil, a country that is not only a major economic powerhouse in Latin America, but also a key and influential global player. The offer to work together on bilateral cooperation as a direct response to these U.S. tariffs is a clear and unmistakable signal that Beijing is looking to be more than just a trading partner. It is actively positioning itself as a reliable, powerful, and politically aligned ally. This potential collaboration could take many forms, including but not limited to joint legal challenges at the WTO, the development of new and expansive bilateral trade agreements that actively seek to bypass the U.S. market and increase political and diplomatic coordination on a variety of global issues. The confluence of these economic and political disputes has created a perfect and fertile opening for China to dramatically expand its geopolitical influence in a region where the U.S. has historically been the dominant power. This evolving and complex situation serves as a stark illustration of the rapidly shifting dynamics of global power, where major nations are increasingly willing to form new alliances and coalitions based on shared grievances and a mutual opposition to the policies and actions of other powerful nations. The outcome of this diplomatic chess match will have lasting implications for the future of international trade, the formation of global alliances, and the balance of power in the Western Hemisphere, reshaping the geopolitical landscape for years to come.